Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to G Bear's Off-Grid Ways, a homestead in the desert. And here we are on the 9th of December, 2019. I didn't say 18 that time. Anyway, you're looking at my charge controllers up here, and yeah, I finally, well, let's just say, can I get a hallelujah? We finally got a sunny day, and so far it's been sunny all day. And it's going on 2 p.m. in the afternoon, and I wanted to shoot this not too soon, so I didn't eat my words, because last time I said it looks like the sun's coming out, and 15 minutes later it was gone. So yeah, I got up this morning to clear skies and sun, and the batteries have taken a charge. So let's move around here and take a look at the beautiful sky. Isn't that nice? Yep, just a slight breeze. Not enough to turn the turbine. And yeah, I'm out here with shorts and a t-shirt. And there's the sun over there in the sky. And there are some clouds over by the mountains and some geoengineering streaks there. But that's what all that is all geoengineering, but it hasn't hit here yet, so it looks like I'm going to get a whole day's sunlight out of this. And that's good, because the batteries really needed it. And I'm hoping that the rest of the week is going to be like this too. Although on Saturday they're calling for wind event, so that's good for me too, because the turbine cranks out electricity when there's a wind event. So anyway, let's move over here. And I was saying that yesterday's rain was a surprise, and it came down really, really good at times. So I want to come over here. Even with evaporation, we're a little over 1.5 inches. About 1/8 of an inch over 1.5 inches. So that's what we've gotten in the last 3 rains. And over here, when I transferred water, that's where I drained it down to. It says from full 12.4. So yesterday's rain, let's see, there's about 7.5 inches of fill in both tanks. Now, if you look here, there's gradients on the side here, and each one is about 4 inches, and that's 100 liters. Okay, so figure 2 of them from there to there, that'd be 8 inches, so that would be 200 liters, or in other sense, it would be 50 gallons. Roughly. So 50 there, 50 there. That's another 100 gallons I picked up. Not bad. I just went down and checked my mail, and all I had was bills. So I probably could have saved gas, but I needed to buy some gasoline for my generator, because that's a 2-stroke engine, and I have to pre-mix the fuel. And I put the stable STA-BUL in the gas first, and then I usually keep 2 gallons on hand just for that unit, because that'd give me 16 hours of run, which is a lot of run time with a noisy little generator running. And I don't really use that very often. I think that's probably the first time that I've ever actually hooked it up to the batteries and charged anything. No, sorry, I did when I first got it. I tried it out to see what it would do, and I wanted to make sure that it was working. So yeah, I did that. But I had 80 gallons of water in barrels in the van that I picked up from a friend's house, so I was over there earlier and I pumped all of that in, and I was checking the stability of the roads out, because Pierre from Heatseeker Bus will be visiting, and I didn't want him to get sunk in with his bus. So the roads, my roads, are plenty strong for, or compacted for him to handle, so I shouldn't have to worry about any of that. All right, solar panels are really clean because the amount of rain, there was no dirt in that rain. It was nice, clean rain. I did notice that last night my security lights wouldn't even light because they hadn't gotten any sun in 3 weeks. So I stepped outside, the light came on, and then it started dimming out, and next thing you know, it went out. So that's about all. I wanted to just cover one more thing before I call this one a day and cut it off. Okay, we were talking yesterday about being prepared for emergencies off grid, and I was saying don't forget this and don't forget that. Well, a couple of things that you really want to make sure you have in your storage so that you're always prepared for the worst emergencies. Now remember, I told you that my my stove inside it's converted over to propane, but it's a natural gas or propane stove, full-size stove. But it's got electronic ignition, and it will not work. The gas won't even come out of it unless it's plugged into AC electricity, AC power. So that stove becomes useless if you have no AC power coming in. So what do? Well, there's a couple of things you can do. One of them is I always make sure that I have extra propane stoves, a camping stove, like a 2-burner stove. That works great. That's the first thing I used when I was out here camping originally in my van and getting a feel for the land. Well, I would cook my meals on that little 2-burner propane stove, and it's a fold-up little suitcase unit. It's nice. I have it just inside the door right now, and I guess I can take you in and show you that. But the next thing I bought, oh, I'm going to have to unlock the door. I locked the door. Isn't that something? Excuse me a minute. Here, keep an eye on Bear for me, will you? Okay, there's my key. And it fits in the lock. That's amazing. There you go. All right. So anyway, I bought a Koblenz 4-burner stove, and it's a portable type camp stove that you just sit on something and you can use that to cook. Now here's the 2-burner that I'm talking about, and this one works with the 1-pound bottles. But I found at Harbor Freight, I found this adapter hose. It's like a 6-foot adapter hose that goes to a 20-pound bottle, so I don't have to keep changing the little tiny propane bottles. But I also, at Harbor Freight, bought a refill valve that you can put into one of those 20-pound bottles and refill the 1-pound bottles. So that's nice if you're just going to go somewhere for an overnighter. You don't need that much fuel, so what the heck. So I made my coffee on this, my breakfast on this. I made last night's dinner on there. I had seasoned trout. I breaded it and seasoned it, and then pan fried it in olive oil. And I had that with asparagus spears. That was really good. Tonight I'm going to be doing pork chops and a baked potato and corn on the cob. And I'll be cooking that on the regular stove because I'm going to have power tonight. All right, one other thing. Check this out. Pretty nice looking little cabinet, huh? Open up the inside. Got a nice shelf in there. Got some extra pins in here for another shelf. And you say, well, where'd that come from? Well, I had to go to Home Depot for something, and somebody had dumped that in the bushes near Home Depot. They just tossed it out of their truck or whatever, and it was in the bushes. And the shelf was tossed over a little further in the bushes. So I picked it up, and I said, I'll take that home. I'll find something to do with that. And if it doesn't end up as part of storage in this room or in the laundry, it'll go into one of the containers and become a tool cabinet where I can keep stuff like WD-40 and things like that. I'll be able to put those in the shelves, and I'll make an extra plywood shelf to go in there so that I have 2 shelves. So anyway, as I was unloading it from my van, I found out that, hey, it's on rollers. Check that out. So this is a top half of a pantry cabinet that they come in 2 pieces, and this would sit on top of another piece and give you the tall pantry cabinet. And somebody modified it and put caster wheels on the bottom, and I guess they would roll it around for something in their garage, or I can't see them rolling it around inside of a house. But hey, it was in great shape, and I said, why not? I'll grab a hold of that. I'm a pack rat. I'll find some use for it. All right, so there you go. That's about all I have for today, people. I'm going to close this down. I can't go into the cabin for another 2 hours because when I woke up this morning, I was really aggravated because the critters in the attic had me up all night long from 2 a.m. until 6:30 a.m. And then even after I went in and washed my face and hands and face and brushed my hair and brushed my teeth, and they were still scurrying around up there because I guess they didn't want to go outside in the bright sunlight, or they couldn't find their sunglasses. Whatever reason, they really aggravated me. I mean, I was fit to be tied. So the reason the cabin door is closed right now is because I double gassed the attic. I did one dry fumigator up in the inside the attic, and I let that settle down for a couple hours. And then I put a second one, which was a spray aerosol type, and I had to shut off all the pilot lights and all the electricity in that room anyway, because you can't have any spark sources because that stuff is flammable. So it says to wait 2 hours after, so I've got probably another hour to go, and then I'll be able to go back in the cabin and air things out, open some doors and windows and air it out before it gets too cold and too chilly out there. So anyway, that's where we stand, everybody. And yeah, my ladder's up there because I went up and I sealed off and covered up the gable vent up there so that no fresh air would be getting in there while I was gassing the place. And the first one was a dry smoke, and I walked around the cabin while it was filling the attic with smoke, and I did not see any smoke coming anywhere out of the attic. So there's no leaks in the attic. They must be coming up from underneath the bathtub and getting into the interior wall, which is not full of insulation, which lets them get right up into the attic. So that's going to have to be, I'm going to cut open the wall when the weather gets a little bit better, and I'm going to have to see what I can do about sealing that off and make sure they can't come in anymore. And if necessary, I'll regas this place again tomorrow. So G-Bear, reminding you, give me a thumbs up down there. Don't forget to subscribe and share. G-Bear signing off.